Hey y'all, it's Elizabeth here at Bridget's Well. I just wanted to do a video, kind of a life update, and then also a haul video. I've been a little off, I don't say off, but it's been a minute since I posted a video. Life has been a little crazy the past couple months. I went to Ireland in April, which was a wonderful trip, but it does take a little bit of time to kind of prepare, and then coming back and recovering from that. And then this month, which is May, we attended Pagan Unity Festival here in Middle Tennessee. It was the 20th year. That was a week ago, and I was on staff. So I was there for 5 days out in the woods in the 90-degree heat, which was great. Mama Nature decided that the week we were out in the woods, it was going to be 90 degrees. The week before, it was like in the 70s, and then this past week it's been in the 70s, but while we were there, of course, it was upper 80s, almost 90s. So my husband vended at the festival. We had a good time. We have a lot of friends on staff as well. It was fun, but overwhelming and completely exhausting. So, just now kind of recovering physically. It's actually Memorial Day weekend right now, and we've been doing a few things around the house, but kind of trying to rest just to recover from that. This year was the 20th anniversary, and the theme was Harry Potter. The VIPs that we had were Selena Fox and Oberon Zell and Christopher Penczak, as well as Alex Bledsoe, who wrote the Tufa series, which I've read all of those books are wonderful, and Kiki Dombrowski, who is a local author and expert on witchcraft, and a few others. I unfortunately didn't get to attend any of the classes because I was busy being on staff, and the time that I had that was downtime was typically spent trying to recover from and stay cool and take a shower or take a nap as best as you could in that kind of weather. But yeah, I mean, it was an interesting experience. I've been to Puff many times before, either attending or vending. Never on staff before, so this was kind of a new experience for me. But I wanted to share my Puff haul, and then I've also got another item that I've gotten that is not from Puff. And I was going to do a separate video on this, but I'm going to kind of put them all together. I think it'd just be easier. So and we had lots of vendors this year as usual. If you ever are in this area or you live near this area, and even just coming out for the vendors is pretty cool and fun. So if you are in the South, check it out, Pagan Unity Festival. It's usually every May. I think it's the weekend after Mother's Day, in Burns, Tennessee, Montgomery Bell State Park. So next year the theme is superheroes. So yeah, one of the things I got was this shirt. Tie-dyed shirt from a vendor called Anne's Gifts. She does tie-dyed. I also got some tie-dyed socks, which I'm not going to show you. And this tie-dyed hoodie, which I'll just kind of show you the back of it. So yeah, and the hoodie is actually a little more, and it's a little big for me, but it's like you want to just kind of snuggle up in it like a blanket. But these are actually more my colors, the greens and blues and purples. But I also like a good brightly colored tie-dyed shirt. So when I was younger, I didn't wear stuff like this because I hated having the attention drawn to me. And I still don't wear a lot of bright colors, but for some reason, tie-dye is something that I enjoy wearing. So occasionally you will find me in a bright color. So I'm going to link the vendors below in the comments or the description. So the next thing is this little guy, my little dragon. Isn't he adorable? His little wings. This little guy is made by a company called Wicked Winglings. And he came with a certificate of authenticity. His name is Arathod, or Arathod. But I kept hearing that he wants to be called Smudge. That's his nickname, is Smudge. So she made all sorts of really cool little dragons. And it's funny because when I went up to her stand, or her booth, there were all sorts of, you know, glittery ones, and she has some little unicorns and some really cute ones. But for some reason, this little guy with his little matte finish and his big puppy dog eyes was the one who wanted to come home with me. So that's my little dragon guy. I just love him. And she's got an Etsy shop, so I will link that below as well. This, I wasn't looking for this doll, but she found me. And see, she's a fairy. It's kind of hard to see. You see her? Handmade by the Fairy Oddmother Champagne. She is a staff member and also a vendor at the festival every year. So, oh, her little boot came off. Yeah. So her little dress is handmade. Little leaves. And her little wings. I had to have her. I thought she was too cute. So, and I think there was one of the VIPs is a singer and author named Rowena Wailing, or Walling. I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name. And she kind of looks like this fairy. And one of my friends said, oh, she looks like Rowena. So I think her name is Rowena. So, isn't she cute? She was my co-pilot on the way home from Puff. So, that's my little fairy. And then, oh, and I realized I think my last video was a haul video too, and I don't want to become that person who's constantly doing haul videos, but lately it just seems like we've been going a lot of places, so a couple haul videos. After these probably won't be very many, maybe. These next two items I got from, we have a blacksmith who comes and not only sells his wares, but also has demonstrations and classes. This year he did a make your own athame class, which I was going to do originally. That was going to be the class I was going to take, but it was hot. And there was a lot of like physical work that went into that, and I decided I didn't want to do it because I just knew it would be too much, so I didn't end up doing that. But this is like a little, can't hardly see it. It's a little handcrafted leaf. And I'll probably just use it on my altar. You know, you could probably even put some sort of small offering in it, maybe. I really thought that doing the blacksmithing stuff would be great for service to Bridget. And then I kind of realized that even just having this little piece of blacksmithed work is kind of an offering to her. So I also got from them this box with a Driskill on it. I don't know if they actually made this box, but it was like $10. I can't beat that. And I figured I could use it for trinkets or maybe even as a magic box was my original thought. And then I got this malachite necklace. I've always loved malachite. And I know too that it's getting harder and harder to find, so the price, malachite is getting pricier and pricier. So if I find malachite for a decent, sorry, my back's itching. If I find malachite for a decent price, I will buy it. This is actually a necklace from, you can kind of see it. It's just a necklace, but the high priestess for Spiral and the organizer of Puff, Tish Owen, had a store called Goddess in the Moon. She downsized this year to a smaller office space and is just doing mostly intuitive readings and healing and past life regressions. So she was selling a lot of the inventory that was left over from her store, and this necklace was one of those items. So I got a really good deal on it, and I just think it's really pretty. So the next thing I got was, I won, actually. They do a raffle every year. If I can get it. The vendors, oops, all of the vendors donate an item for the raffle. And you pay $1 for a ticket, per ticket, and then you put your raffle ticket in. They have envelopes with different items. You put your raffle ticket in the envelope for the item that you want. And I put mine in for 3 different things. One was a black onyx bear that was about this big, maybe. And then the other was a piece of garnet that was like pretty large chunk. And the last thing I did was this box. And I won it. And this box is by a vendor called Herbs, Stones, and Bones. He does herbs, stones, and bones. And wood burning. But I thought it was interesting because it must have been the year of the Driskill, because I got this, and then I won this with the Driskill. And he's a druid as well. I know. I'm familiar with his work. He's on Instagram. It's just a box. So now I've got 2 magic boxes, and this one has runes on it. And honestly, it's kind of bad. I didn't look up the runes yet to see what they mean. But he's an amazing woodworker. He has some really nice stuff. So yeah, I was very excited when I won this. So that is my Puff haul. I had gone in this year thinking I was going to try not to spend too much money, which didn't really happen. You know, because we just went to Ireland and spent money, and yeah, but it's okay. It is what it is. I tried not to get anything that was really extraneous. At these kind of things, I tend to buy things that you really can't get anywhere else. So maybe that's my own justification. So yeah, that was my little Puff haul. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you all today is something that's very special to me. There is a woman in Australia who makes medicine dolls, and I've been following her on Facebook and Instagram for at least a year, maybe even a little longer than that, and have been admiring her work for quite some time. She makes hand felts medicine dolls, and she puts a lot of care into them and puts like bundles inside the dolls, and so yeah, they have different energies, and they're not cheap. So let's just put that out there. And I'm not saying that they're not worth money we pay for them at all, because they are. They absolutely are. But that's why I haven't, part of the reason I'd never gotten one before now is I would see them and they're really pretty, but when I would look at the price, I'd be like, well, I don't want to spend that much on that doll. So, however, there was one that she completed. I believe this doll was done, I bought her at the beginning of May, or, you know, started paying for her at the beginning of May. And so I think she was completed at the new moon in Taurus. Let me see, it says on her little sheet. Yeah, and as soon as I saw the pictures of this doll, I knew I had to have her. So she was kind enough to let me do a payment plan, and she came in the mail yesterday. So her name is, the company is Sacred Familiar. The artist is Julia Inglis out of Australia. So the name of this doll is Woad, the painted one. And she was made by hand in a place in Australia called Sherbrooke Forest. And I'm not familiar with that area. I've seen some pictures on her Instagram and her Facebook page, and it looks gorgeous. But I personally am not aware of where that is or what that is. So her wool, she's made out of wool from Iceland and ancestral sheep from Scotland, and she's adorned with wool that has been dyed with woad. So, you know, woad was what the ancient Celts and Scot and Picts, I believe, the ancient Scottish, used to paint their faces with before they went to battle. So let me just say, this doll is incredibly special to me. When I opened her yesterday, I was exclaiming like, "Oh, oh!" And my husband thought it was bad because it was kind of one of those emotions that was, you know, sometimes when you've got that emotion that could be like a negative thing or a positive, it was one of those kind of cries where I couldn't even stop myself, and of course cried because I just fell in love with her instantly. And I'm in love with this doll. And I don't think the camera's even going to do her justice. I mean, look, you can't hardly, it's hard to see her face. But there's the spirals with the woad. And she has a crystal attached to her chest. And antlers. And her, there you go, you can kind of see her a little better. I'll try to put some pictures afterwards from the website, that the Sacred Familiar website, because they're better than this, I think. You can kind of see her features better that way. And there's even a little spiral on the bottom. And I think her dress is made out of saris, Indian saris. But yeah, I love her. I just absolutely love her. So my plans are to do some meditation with her. She is a leader and warrior spirit and used for guidance. So yeah, that's my doll. I love her so much. I can't even describe. So those are my hauls. I'll put Facebook, or not Facebook, vendor and websites for these lovely shops down in the description bar. I hope you enjoyed my haul. I hope you're having a wonderful week. That being said, I am planning to get back into video making, hopefully like once a week. I want to pick back up with the Pagan Challenge videos, as well as discuss, get back into, I haven't really done as much with studying the Obod Bardic course as I had planned at the beginning of this year. As you all know, we lost 2 of our pets before we went to Ireland, and we've lost another one since then, our elderly outdoor dog. We lost her about a week before we went to Puff. She had already been having problems walking. She was 12, shepherd mix. So 12 is kind of old for a little bit larger dog, and she loved being outside. We would bring her in when it was really hot or really cold. You know, she had shelter and food, so please, if you have issues with dogs being outside, take it elsewhere. That's where she wanted to be. We tried to keep her inside, tried to keep her in a fence. She just wouldn't have it. So the most of the years that she's been with me, she's kind of been outdoors and roaming. You know, had her collar, always got her shots, that sort of thing. We live in the country. It's a little different than in the city. But she was attacked by something and damaged her tail and spine, and she'd already been having trouble walking from an older injury that was from last year, and so we made the decision to help her cross over. So yeah, it's been a rough 6 months, 5 months this year. It's been not totally rough. You know, the trip to Ireland was great, and there have been some really good things. It's just been kind of rough pet wise. So there's that. And then the next big thing on the horizon for us is moving. So this summer, the plan is to get out of this house and find someplace else to live. But that being said, I am planning on getting back into making videos more often. I'm almost at 100 subscribers, so I will be doing a giveaway soon, and I've already got a few little tidbits for that. I just will have to kind of gather a few more. I think that's pretty much it right now. But like I said, I hope you all are having a wonderful week. And if you're in the United States, a great holiday weekend. And I wish you many, many blessings.